Hello guys, welcome to a new video. Today I have a special one. I'm going to be showing you just the best decks you can use in the Goblin Delivery Challenge to beat it, get all the wins, and get all the rewards. We're going to be showing you 3 decks today, and we're going to be playing 1 game per deck. So let's just jump straight into the first one. We have the classic Mortar Evolution deck. The way this challenge works is basically that every player has to use the Mortar Evolution in their deck, but apart from that, they can build whatever deck they want. They can use P.E.K.K.A.s, 3 Musketeers, or a very cheap cycle deck. That is up to you. So here is why I'm going to be showing you the best decks, not only to counter the Evolution Mortar, but also to counter what kind of decks other players will have, such as either, I don't know, Hog Rider, or just very quick cycle decks. Of course, the majority of them will have the Firecracker. But at least you know that the Evolution card will always be the Mortar, and you will not get any more surprises than that. So let's jump straight into this first game. We have Rocket to be able to do chip damage to the tower. We have a Mortar, not only to defend from building target or units that target buildings, such as the Hog Rider or the Royal Giant, but also to use as a win condition. As you can see, this guy has arrows, which is pretty good since everyone's going to be running Firecracker, or the majority of people are going to be running Firecracker. Arrows just give you very big value for the 3 elixir that they provide. However, this guy also has the Queen, and we have to just kill her with either rockets or just using our knight to take her ability away. However, the way you want to play this first deck is just by playing very passively in the single elixir time. As you can see, I'm using a Mortar to defend against this Mortar. I'm using very high Firecrackers and then tanking them with my knight if he doesn't use arrows. And then when I get the chance, or when I see that he's low on elixir, we will go in for a Mortar, as you can see right now. So he uses an Inferno Dragon, which is pretty good to take out of my knight, and the Ice Spirit to kind of kite my Mortar and distract him for a bit while he saves up to put his defensive Mortar on. So this was a pretty good defense by him. We're just going to cycle the log. We're going to play cards from the back to wait for our next push. We now have the Evolution Mortar. He puts a Queen in the bridge, so we cannot put our Mortar. And we just defend his Queen by using a Knight and some Spear Goblins and some Skeletons. Then we put the Evolution Mortar. Let's see what he does to defend it. Okay, so he uses smallest cards to defend them. Then he uses a Fireball and some arrows, which basically kills off the Evolution Mortar. But we do get 1 hit, which is pretty good damage. As you know, Mortars are all about getting very, very low but very consistent damage. So 1 or 2 hits by a Mortar is a great success. And one thing that I've liked to do is that whenever they place units near the Evolution Mortar, if you just rocket it with this deck, it's such an easy value. You can get first of all, the Evolution Mortar doesn't get a hit on your tower or anything else. It dies instantly, and all the supporting cards, whether it's a Valkyrie, whether it's a Queen, they're actually gonna die as well. So he's always doing the same kind of strategy of kiting my Mortar with an Ice Spirit, and then placing his Mortar in the back, and then fireballing everything to reduce the health of my Mortar, which is pretty good. And at least we are pressuring him so that he cannot use his fireball on offense. And as you can see, we're very equal in damage, but we know we're ahead since we have a rocket. And if the game comes down to the wire, we know that we can just rocket his tower and get a lot of value. Looky here, our Evolution Mortar actually connects, and once your Evolution Mortar connects, you have to use all of your elixir to defend it, since it can get so much damage. Just look at the value that 1 Evolution Mortar actually got for us. And once you get the tower to this health, you can actually just cycle your rockets. He won't be able to take your tower down with only a Mortar. And you can see by just using our 3 spells, we're able to take his tower down. So it was a very good match. Showed really well how to use that deck, and we're gonna jump onto deck number 2. This one is a similar kind of deck. It just has archers instead of Firecracker, which can be pretty good at times, and it has lightning instead of rocket, but it's the same principle. The lightning can almost take out a whole Mortar, so you want to use it whenever you cannot have, or you cannot find a response for his Mortars. However, if he's using the Mortars defensively, just don't lightning them. That's only when he's using them aggressively and you don't have anything to defend against them. So the principle with this deck is the same. You're going to play very slowly at the start. You're going to try and get as much damage as you can with the mortars, but if you cannot get them to lock onto his tower, then you can use your lightnings on defense or on offense to chip at his towers, which is basically what we will end up doing right here. You can also use your lightning as a way of like helping your mortar connect into tower. And here, look at that tornado. We actually put the musketeer and the mighty miner together, which actually resulted in our mortar locking onto the tower, defending a hog rider and getting one hit onto his tower. I thought it was going to get more than one hit, but oh well. Now we have our evolution mortar. We're going to see if we have enough time to place it in front of the archers, and I don't think it's going to be possible. So we're just going to wait for the next push. He's going to log our archers, and we're then gonna evolution mortar if he doesn't place anything near the bridge or his own mortar. So we go for one. We place a knight in front just in case he has anything that can actually do damage to us. We're going to try the same tornado, but you can see that we actually missed this time because the evolution mortar shoots a lot faster. So we miscalculated that. Regardless, we do get some damage, but none of the hits got into the tower. He uses a very good earthquake to actually take out our mortar. And you can see that he is going to actually attempt to earthquake cycle our towers. And once we realize this, we're going to start lightning cycling his tower. That mortar not only defends the hog rider, actually also gets a hit on the tower, which is huge. And we're going to log the musketeer to help out the archers, take her down, and also get a bit of damage onto the tower. As you can see here, we put a knight and we defend with a lightning. You can see the value that the lightning gets. It almost destroys the mortar. It gets a lot of damage onto the tower, and it helps you just cycle your cards and get ahead in the game. So here he goes with an evolution mortar. We put our knight again. We're going to save up for the lightning. I don't think we'll hit the tower this time. Or will we? No. We were hoping for him to place a musketeer on the right side, but he didn't. Regardless, that's still pretty good value from us. We're going to evolution mortar to counter his hog rider, but he places a musketeer so that it doesn't log on. The evolution mortar should almost, it should take out the archer. The musketeer, which is pretty good value, and we use a knight in front of our archers so that the mortar doesn't take them out. This time we're actually going to use a mortar to counter his mortar, and they're going to be very, very close together. He uses an earthquake and a log, which basically takes out our mortar, but we take out his as well. Now we have a lightning in hand. We can see that the damage is pretty close. We're going to use skeletons. We're going to use another mortar because of the hog rider, and the archers should actually help us take that down. We use a lightning to get rid of the mortar, and you can see that now we're winning in damage. What has happened is that he's cycled 2 earthquakes, and he's done a lot of damage, but by us cycling 1 lightning, we've done a lot more damage than he has. So now we're gonna put a knight. That was very tight spacing, because if not, the mortar was so close to actually connecting to our tower. I'm gonna use another evolution mortar to help us with the hog rider. I think he missed his earthquake there. Yeah, he did. And that evolution mortar almost got a shot into our tower, but it didn't. We're going to use a lightning now with a knight, some archers on the left side, and get back to our mortar. However, we're going to use an ice spirit and the tornado to send it back. If they use hog rider in the beginning of the matches, you just want to activate your tower because it will make defenses against the hogs so much easier. But since we didn't get the chance, we're just going to lightning and use a tornado to send it back. Here, our mortar actually locks into the tower, so we try and get as many hits as we can. But since he hog rider, we're only going to be able to get 1 hit. He uses another earthquake, and we're going to just lightning cycle him away again. We're going to use a mortar here, a log. No, we didn't use the log. We're going to use a ice spirit, a knight to tank for this. The musketeer actually locks onto our tower, and it gets it very low, 550. But our last lightning is able to finish the game off. So you can see that deck did actually pretty well against another meta mortar deck right now. And this is the last one. I built this one based on one of the best counters to the mortar, which is the Royal Giant. And this deck, he actually has one of the best counters for the Royal Giant, which is the Mini P.E.K.K.A. So this is a pretty good matchup. We're going to use the mortar in front of the firecracker to try and get some value. I think he uses skeletons. Yeah, there they go. They're actually pretty good to distract the mortar for a while. but his firecracker is not going to get much value since we're going to log it and the ice bird as well. Our mortar gets 1 hit. I think it gets another hit before it dies to the earthquake. Yeah, so I got 2 hits, which is a really good value for a mortar, especially a non-evolved one. And so yeah, you can see that this is basically a Royal Giant deck, but we have a mortar. The reasoning for this is that the Royal Giant is one of the best counters for the mortar, and it can also do a lot of damage to towers. So this game you want to play, again, very chill in single elixir time, trying to counter whatever cards he has with your own cards. Here you can see that the Fisherman does a good job at keeping the mortar alive by taking away the Hog Rider from the mortar. And the mortar actually manages to get 2 hits again. And look at this Fisherman, is going to be super clutch. I think it's going to actually drag the firecracker and kill it before it reaches the tower, which is honestly that you love to see that. So yeah, basically you want to play this like a normal Royal Giant deck, but having a building such as the mortar. So you can either use it offensively or defensively. I like to use it offensively, especially if you have the evolution. However, if you're finding that they're constantly defending your mortars very well, you can then resort to placing a Royal Giant in the back and loading a big Royal Giant push. You can see that the Evolution Mortar actually gets 1 hit, connects into the tower, it gets a second one, and I think it gets a third one before it actually dies. Yeah, it gets a third one before he actually gets back to his earthquake. He was very low in elixir, and that's what actually made us essentially get that tower for free. So now we're going to start attacking the right side. I think he's going to let that firecracker go. Yeah, but since we attacked the left side, he was able to defend. We attacked the right side, he was able to defend the left side and put his Mini P.E.K.K.A to actually defend a Royal Giant. You can see that a Royal Giant takes down the mortar without it actually getting any hits on the tower. And look at this clutch Fisherman again. Before the Mini P.E.K.K.A hits the tower, just takes it away. This guy with the earthquake, he can just, I think he has enough elixir to just cycle earthquake cycle us. But look at this Hog Rider, it's almost gonna get to the tower. It takes out the mortar, the firecracker misses, he gets 1 shot on the tower. We put the Royal Giant to counter the mortar. I think he's gonna put now the earthquake, so he gets 1 tick, 2 ticks, and the third one is about to come, and he actually loses before that. So thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video.